Ini saya tampil untuk ke depan untuk menunjukkan perlunya sistem demokrasi ini dipelihara. Sebenarnya penganjuran program ini bukannya untuk menunjukkan pembelaan terhadap Anwar Ibrahim semata-mata, tapi sebenarnya adalah untuk memberitahu bagaimana sistem kehakiman kita yang bercelaru di sebalik kes tahun 1998. Sebelum itu kita sendiri tahu bagaimana kes linggam korek dan beberapa lagi isu lain yang termasuk PKFZ dan lain-lain.
At that time, I was not even in any political party. I was not involved with any NGO. At that point of time, 1998 was the year I graduated from overseas and came back to start my chambering. That was the beginning of my legal career. So what really shocked me was when the news just reported that Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim was sacked. I really couldn't believe it. And of course, the reasons was given was immorality, because of this sodomy. I was quite shocked. At the same time, I was saddened in the sense that after he was sacked, when Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim tried to defend himself, which eventually led to his arrest under the Internal Security Act, not under any ordinary laws. As we all know that even as citizens of Malaysia, we have a rough idea of what is this ISA. We know what is the effect of this ISA and what it is meant for. And my question was, why would the government use the Internal Security Act against Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim? And which later on, of course, he was released and of course being detained under different sets of laws. Being a young, inexperienced practitioner at that point of time, what crossed my mind was, how could this thing happen? And what was happening actually? And why that Anwar Ibrahim, as far as we all know, he was once very close with Dr. Mahathir. And Dr. Mahathir had in the past told the world that Dato' Sri Anwar would succeed him. And that was really a real shock. And of course, I did not immediately actually get involved at that material time. That was way back in 1998. I did not. So I was just observing. And because, to be honest, my family background, we are all from Barisan Nasional. So my grandfather, grandparents, most of my relatives, we are from Barisan Nasional. And eventually I observed. I did not immediately just say that, okay, who is right, who's wrong at that point of time, but I cannot just follow to a certain extent. And then we saw the demonstration, the reformasi, the chanting of the reformasi at that point of time. And I was also thinking about, I thought that these people would be together. They were fighting for the Malay agendas, Malay rights, privileges at that point of time. They've got the Wawasan team, social Wawasan team. I'm sure you all know. Even Dato' Sri Najib, our Prime Minister today, was part of the team. Muhyiddin, so on and so forth. Well, that time Dato' Sri was leading them. But as the whole thing snowballed, we find that somehow those people without the legal background, without the legal training like us, we are lawyers because obviously we can see more clearly than those who are not legally trained. But I can see that the people can also realize that how his prosecution on Anwar Ibrahim was carried out, which made them feel unfair. And how he was being treated, and how the media, the police, and all government machineries have been used to power against him, including his close aides, his assistants, his political secretaries, all these people who are associated, very closely associated with Anwar Ibrahim. From there, I know that this is not right. Of course, I would consider myself the second wave. I really joined the fight for this justice only about 2001, because I was observing, I was giving even them the chance to explain to the people and prove to the people that yes, he really was guilty of what they alleged. But as far as we lawyers are concerned, or even the law of the land is concerned, the system that we have, which we took from the British government in the past, everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And this principle has not been observed. He was sacked, not given a chance at all to even defend himself. He was not even allowed to speak, to defend himself at that point of time. So, of course, when I eventually joined 2001, in 2001, that was Parti Keadilan Nasional. That point of time was PKN, Parti Keadilan Nasional. Of course, I met up with many police officers and other people, including, of course, police from the SP. To me, of course, some of them, they have their own agendas. They were trying to say that, oh, okay, yeah, he did all those things. But my question is very simple. Even my question today is still a simple question. Would you, I asked them the simple question, especially those who are Malay Muslim. I said, would you be brave enough or even bold enough to swear in writing that there is no conspiracy against Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim? And all the SP officers dare not swear in writing. I said, can you swear in the name of Allah or God? Would you? I just asked them, can you say that he has been fairly treated? None of them. From there, that's why my support grows, and I believe that I'm not just supporting because he's a Malay, Chinese or Indian, but him as a person, human being. And of course, recently we see that we have this episode of using the word of Allah and the burning of churches. I'm very sad. And I feel that this is now a high time. We must remember that. Not because of this power, these people who are in power, who are in charge of this country or in this world, but there is a God up there who is in charge. And we must remember, irrespective of whatever we believe in, you may be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Taoist, but as long as you can sincerely and honestly practice your beliefs in whatever religion, then we will be fine.